Hello, I'm Steve Canavan and I'm course leader for the sports journalism course at Uclan. Obviously we'd much rather be with you in a classroom today showing you around all our fantastic facilities, and I'd much rather have my hair cut, but we're in lockdown, it's a bit tricky, so instead we're going to give you a virtual tour and you're going to hear from some of our lecturers who teach on the course and find out what it's all about to come and study sports journalism at Uclan.
A very warm welcome to the Uclan Sports Studio. I'm Peter Stevenson, and as well as working for Sky Sports and the Premier League, I'm a Uclan lecturer. There's no doubt journalism trainees learn best by doing the job, so at Uclan our news days are at the centre of our courses. From year one, students go out and talk to people and find stories. Then on news days they're producing content for online, radio and television. They have to work as a team and to deadlines. It's all about handling the same pressures they'll have to deal with in newsrooms all around the world. It's a very practical way of making sure our students are transformed into journalists, ready for those newsrooms.
Hello and welcome to Monday's programme. I'm Oliver Rawlinson.
So I'm working on a stabbing incident, so there was 2 stabbings last night, so I'm kind of looking into that, getting more detail, and then I will be recording a live piece for the TV programme.
Our reporter Katie Collier has more details.
Patrols have been increased in the area and a Section 60 order was in place from 7:15 on Sunday.
Good afternoon, this is CLR Radio at 12:30. I'm Chloe Wilson with your news this lunchtime.
They were 10 points down to the San Francisco 49ers.
It's been an exciting and intense time here at the National Track Championships in Manchester.
I'm getting match of the day highlights and then going to edit it upstairs in the Avid Suite.
On to football now. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has said he and the first team will not take part in the FA Cup replay with Shrewsbury.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You can follow all of our stories on the website and Uclan Live on Twitter. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
A big part of the course is writing. When I was a journalist I worked at the Blackpool Gazette newspaper, covering Blackpool Football Club. When they went to the Premier League it was fantastic, and then I went on to work as a feature writer and then on the BBC Sport website. I love writing, I'm a bit of a geek, I don't mind telling you, and I think you should too, because it's not academic writing, it's not writing essays and boring stuff like that, it's writing stories, you're telling people stories, you're doing it short, sharp and to the point. We're not bothered about using long complicated words, we want you to keep it simple so that everyone from a 99-year-old to a 5-year-old can understand it. That's the art of journalism, telling a story in a very simple way that everyone can understand. So when you come on the course, there'll be plenty of teaching about that. It's fun, we make it enjoyable, we make it practical. You're not really stuck in the classroom, you're meant to be out and about, speaking to people, bringing back stories and then writing them, and that's where we help you become and develop your journalistic skills. So hopefully you'll find it good fun.
Hi, I'm Andy Sykes, I teach digital sports journalism. I'll be taking your essay writing skills and showing you how to write stories for a digital platform. I started at Uclan in 1999 on this very course, and I graduated in 2002. I've had 17 fantastic years in regional media, where I still work to this day alongside my university work. We will be teaching you writing skills for a host of different sports, so whether that is football, or cricket, or swimming, or any other sport, we will show you how to write those sports stories for you to have a great career in journalism.
Hi, I'm Jerry Berm and I teach the broadcast journalism on the sports course. I started out as a newspaper reporter but then went on to work for ITV and BBC. So I've worked on programmes like Granada Reports, BBC North West Tonight. I've also made lots of documentaries for ITV, Channel 4, Discovery, and I also work for BBC Newsround with children and The One Show. So quite a variety, and like most of my colleagues I still work as a journalist at BBC Sport, so I do lots of shifts, and that's what's really important for students, because they get to see best practice because we were in the newsrooms the whole time. So, for example, a few years ago, we didn't teach very much on digital, but the industry's changed and we teach a lot on digital side now, and we're doing a lot more on podcasting. And that's because all of us still work in the industry. The other great advantage of that is that we still have friends who work in the industry. So we have really good guests who come onto the campus, lots of BBC commentators and reporters, also from ITV. In recent past, we've had John Murray from the BBC, Gary Flintoff. We've also had managers such as Ian Holloway and the Accrington Stanley manager, John Coleman. During lockdown, we've had people like Gabby Logan, who came on with her husband Kenny, who is a Scotland rugby professional, or was. So we've got friends all over the sports industry and the media industry, and they all come onto campus and they really help us make the teaching more relevant for all our students.
Well, Uclan is pretty much the perfect place to be if you like your sport, because it's right in the middle of a hotbed of football and plenty of other sports. Of course, famous for the football clubs in Manchester and Liverpool in the Premier League, but we've got another Premier League club at Burnley, and we've got some really special links with them. We send our reporters every week to interview their young footballers. They use the same press conference room that Sean Dyche uses for his press conference, so it's a really, really good experience, either in a press conference or a one-on-one situation. But below that, in the Championship and the Football League, a lot of other clubs in the northwest of England, and we send our reporters on match days to work there, up the road at Deepdale, at Preston North End, at Accrington Stanley, at Morecambe and at Fleetwood Town, because these clubs know what they're getting when they get somebody coming to them from Uclan. Cricket pretty big here as well. I'm here at the home of the first ever Roses match, and we always get invited to Media Day at Old Trafford by the Lancashire club. Also in Manchester at the Velodrome, we're building up good contacts with the cycling organisations. And if you throw in Aintree, the home of the Grand National, Super League, Rugby Union, ice hockey, netball, a whole host of sports, really good working opportunities, really good contacts, and of course that makes it that little bit easier in 3 years' time when you come to look for work.
Hopefully this will soon be off and we'll have sport back on the telly. And that's what our news days are all about. Lots of sport, both in our TV studio, radio studio and on our website. As you've seen from the video, we've got fantastic facilities at Uclan. Great TV studio, modelled on Media City studios. We've got a brand new TV gallery with all the rules. Students get a chance to be in all of those rules, and in the radio studios as well. And during news day, students come in the first thing in the morning, they're full of stories, and they have bulletins for radio every hour, and the TV programme at the end of the day. Exactly how it would be in industry.
I think for me the most important thing on the course is the way we're taught, because we're obviously taught by people who've done the jobs rather than someone that's just reading off a syllabus and teaching us that way. We've got Jerry, who's got a background in TV, Steve with a background in newspapers. It's just handy to be able to talk stuff that obviously people reading off a syllabus wouldn't be able to tell us, because they've never experienced the jobs firsthand. It just really helps convey what they're telling us, because obviously you know they're saying it because they found it out in their career. I've probably enjoyed travelling around the country the most with the course. It might be weird to say considering it's in Preston, but I've been all over the place with different job roles that I've gained through the course as work experience or placements that have just allowed me to get out there and do more than I thought I'd ever be able to do.
Hi, I'm Lucy and I just finished my first year of sports journalism at Uclan. What I'd say I enjoyed most about the course is being able to write about something that I love, which is of course sport, and also being able to progress my writing skills. On top of that though, you do get to go into the radio studio and TV studio and kind of, get a taste of what it's like. But first year is kind of just showing you the ropes before you kind of advance to second or third year. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the course as much as I am so far.
The one thing I really like about the course is that the work opportunities Uclan give you. They give you so many work opportunities to go out and gain experience in all different types of sports. Football, rugby, basketball, you name it, they can find some work experience for you to go out and gain from. And it helps you massively for when you finish your degree at Uclan. And also while on the course itself, you learn so many new skills which will then help you again when you finish your degree. So it's the course itself, you get to learn so many new skills which you probably haven't learnt before, and you get so many work opportunities all the time throughout your time on the course.
So there you go, you just heard all about the course from our lecturers. Hopefully you've heard how much passion we've got for it, and we really do what we do because we want to turn you into sports journalists and to have the fantastic career that we've all had and enjoyed. This is where we take a bit of a more in-depth look at the course, see what you'll study, and give you a look at the things you'll do along the way, the places we'll take you, and the opportunities we try and give you. And also we'll show you a bit about where some of our graduates have ended up working, because they've had great careers off the back of the course. So here we go. Not the most exciting slide to look at, I grant you, but it just gives you a little flavour of our TV studio. On the left is the actual studio where the presenters sit. We insist our students come looking smart and snazzy, which is why Jack and Dan there have got the suits on. And on the right-hand side is the actual TV gallery, which had a big £250,000 upgrade recently and is as good as you'll find anywhere. And that's where you produce and direct the show and other little things that go on in there. So what we're going to look at in the next few minutes is, as brief as I can make it, because I don't want to bore you, is why choose sports journalism and the reasons to do it, what the course entails, what you will learn and what you will study, and then we'll have a look at some of the jobs our graduates have got. And at the end of it, I've put the email address of myself, Steve Canavan, the course leader, and Jerry Berm, who runs the course alongside me. We've got our email addresses in there because if you've got a question about journalism, even if you've not really thought about doing it as a career so much, but you're suddenly interested by it, we can answer your questions and help you, and then allow you to decide whether you think it's right for you or not. We think it's a great career to go into. Why choose sports journalism at Uclan? There's quite a lot of reasons. I've tried to boil it down to just a few here. Not mainly, but one of the reasons is we're accredited by the BJTC, the Broadcast Journalism Training Council. This might sound dull and dry. It's really important. It means at the end of the course you come out with not just your degree, but your BJTC certificate, which is recognised by Sky and the BBC. We're the only sports journalism course in the north of England to be accredited by this body. And perhaps just as importantly, it guarantees you a number of news days. We have to teach a certain number of news days on our course. These are the best bits. This is where you get a TV programme out, or a radio show, or you write for a website. It's the most fun part of being a journalist, and it's where you learn the most. You'll get loads of them on our course. We've also had a big revamp of the facilities, the TV studio, and we've also done this for a long time. We've taught journalism from the 1960s. We know what we're doing. We try and make this course as interesting as it can be. We do not want you sat in a big lecture theatre with hundreds of other students where nobody knows your name and you're listening to one of those boring people drone on. That's not what journalism is about. It's not how we teach it. We want you in small groups and we want you out and about doing the job. So maybe in your first couple of weeks, we'll send you into Preston Town Centre to go and speak to some people about, I don't know, British cycling or basketball or American football or whether Man United can win the Premier League. I've just upset all non-Man United fans there. But, you know, the point is we get you out and about doing stuff. You have assignments that are based on practical stuff like going out and speaking to people and then writing about them or doing a little radio piece about them, whatever that might be. There are a couple of exams only on the course. It's nearly all assignments. There's a law exam in the first year. There's a little journalism ethics test in the second year to make sure that morally you know how to operate as a journalist. And you also have a bit of shorthand as well. There's something called the NSS, which is the National Student Survey. And this is where all third years in every course, every university around the country are asked to fill in a little survey, a little questionnaire rating their course. We're really proud of the marks we got from our students last year and in previous years. We got 100% for things like academic support and feedback and assessments, and we're really proud about that. We feel that shows the effort we put into it. It matters to us, this. We're not just doing it as jobs. We really want to create a great course and a great learning environment. And I've put at the bottom there a couple of recent examples of successful graduates who've gone on to get good jobs, but I'll tell you more about them on the next couple of slides. This is Matt Deacon, who I got to know when he first arrived in Preston. He'd come from down south, Southampton. He'd been working nights at a supermarket, stacking the shelves, and he'd done it for several years, but he'd always dreamed of becoming a sports writer or to work in sport. And he suddenly one day thought, right, I can't stack shelves any longer. I want to make something of my life. He came all the way up north because he's heard our course was a good one. And did brilliantly. Got right into the course, threw himself into everything. He worked as the PA announcer at Accrington Stanley and then got a job as their press officer. Did that for a year, and then he applied for a job with the Formula 2 press team and got that, and within a matter of months became a Formula 1 press officer, now travels the world. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He keeps sending me pictures of himself in Monaco or, you know, some glamorous destination, Brazil or somewhere, and I have to try and pretend I'm not jealous. He's done brilliantly, and I'm absolutely delighted for him because he worked his socks off, and as he acknowledges there, he wouldn't have been able to get where he's got from stacking shelves in a supermarket to travelling the world as a press officer without doing this course. He's done great. This is Caroline, who, as you'll be able to read yourself, came on this course and then got a job at Manchester City, becoming the first official journalist for the women's team. And she also writes about the men's team, etc., and does lots of other stuff. Being a female in sports journalism, there's never ever been a better time for a woman to get involved in sports journalism. There is lots of jobs going, lots of major companies such as the BBC are vowing to make the workforce 50-50 men and women. It's a really wonderful time and a wonderful opportunity to get yourself a really successful career. We had Gabby Logan recently come in and speak to the students, and she is a great shining example of getting to where you want to be. There's definitely more chances than ever for females in sports journalism. So if you're sat at home and you're thinking, could I do this? And you're a woman, you absolutely can. Come on the course. I'll just show you one more graduate. This is Andrew, who graduated last year, summer 2019. He deserves all the success he's got and will have in life because he worked his socks off, put himself about, and he got a job straight off the back of the course. The Athletic, which is a major, massive website, come over from the United States and is now doing Premier League football. He's the Burnley writer, so he goes and covers Burnley every single game, and he's absolutely loving it. Deserves it because he put his hand up and volunteered for everything. And what was great about Andrew, and this is what I'd advise anyone coming, he didn't really do that much football, although he loves his football, and that's now what he's got his job in. He realised that having a breadth of knowledge about a lot of sports is actually really attractive to employers. So he did stories about netball, about triathlon, about archery, and produced some great stuff, and has now got this job as a football writer, Premier League football writer, and he's going to have a great career. He's only 22 years old now, and he's destined for big things. And as you'll see again, another one that really valued coming to Uclan and learning from the lecturer. There's really not much I can say to liven this slide up, is that it just tells you how much it costs to come on the course, and the typical offer for, you need 104 UCAS points to get on our course. What I would stress is that we treat everyone individually and we're flexible. So it might be you've had some work experience, a paper or a radio station, or you have your own blog. So if you've not quite got those number of points or you fall short of them, get in touch anyway, because we might be able to help and do something. So that's it really. Thanks ever so much for sticking with it. If you've made it this far, I salute you. Myself and Jerry, so I'm Steve, myself and Jerry, who run the course together, are going to be online now to take any questions and help. If you're watching this later after the Q&A is finished, and you're interested, you want to know something, please just drop us a line, get in touch on email. There's our addresses. Jerry and I, at university's a funny thing. Sometimes you don't get much access to your lecturers. Me and Jerry have always had a policy of having an open door. You can come and see us whenever, when you study at the university. All our students know they just knock on the door and we will help them with whatever issue they may have. Again, it's something we pride ourselves on. But enough waffle from me. Go off and enjoy your days. But please bear in mind the sports journalism course here at Uclan. We think it's belting. A lot of our students think it's belting. And if you are interested, please get in touch. Cheers. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Once again, sorry you couldn't come in and see our fantastic facilities, the TV studio and gallery and the radio studios and the editing rooms, etc. But hopefully you'll be able to come to another open day and see that for yourself. In the meantime, if you've got any questions at all, just drop us a line. My email is scanavan, CANAVAN, @uclan.ac.uk. In the meantime, have an absolutely brilliant summer, and we will hopefully see you at Uclan doing sports journalism sometime soon.